because one of the scriptures in the Bible is honor thy mother and thy father. But just due to the amount of people here, here's what I know. There's been some dads and been some moms that have been really bad. There's been a mom or a dad that walked out on a child. There's been a mom or a dad who they didn't admit that this is their kid and they want nothing with them. I know part of my own dad's story, he was adopted. So he grew up with the mindset that if my own mom didn't want me, then who could love me? And then his adopted mom, when he was leaving the house at 18 years old or whatever it was, she had a recorded list of all the money she spent on him to raise him back. How do you give honor when, could I say it this way, when honor's not due?
If God this is a commandment. This isn't, if it works for you, you ought to do this. It's a commandment. You have to give honor. So therefore, but the New Testament says, give honor where honor is due. So what's incumbent upon the child for that commandment is to find places where honor is really due. So I remember when we got the revelation on these commandments so many years ago, but with Dennis, what we did with Pastor Dennis is we started saying, well, where is legitimate honor due? So with the dad, he was never present, the biological father. The biological mother, she carried him to term and she put him up for adoption. So that was life-giving. How many of you can hear that? And so we had to get to the place, and he had to get to the place where that's due honor and that's legitimate honor. And he isn't pulling up anything fake and saying all kinds of stuff. It was and if that was all the honor that that mother was due, then he gave that. And then you can't look back and say, I wish and I should have, and I'm mad and I'm angry and I'm not treated well, because you tie yourself to lack and you tie yourself to disappointment, and you literally, it's a form of unforgiveness, so you bind yourself in a past day. You don't want to bind yourself to a past day. If all that parent ever did for you was to give you a start, now you have a life and you have a future. And so with him, then God gave him a second set of parents. And although they weren't warm and loving, and they weren't those kind of kissy-feely, they were very kind of rigid, but they gave him food and they gave him a start, and he got an education, and he got to play baseball and got so many wonderful opportunities that came. So then we had to look at that set of parents and say, honors due here and honors due here. And even though all this other stuff wasn't right, this is where legitimate honor was due. Then you got a chance to move forward. So God requires two things. First of all, it requires the child to find the place where honor is due. But then parents, we should say, since God's going to require that of our children, we should live honorably. Why should we put a stumbling block? But many parents don't know that, or they're so broken, there's not much they don't give what we hope for. So somewhere we say, okay, well then here's how I resolve the past. I give honor where it's due, and I forgive all the other and move forward. And when that heart of honor and forgiveness is in you, your future's bright.